So these men approach Jesus, and they demand that he correct, that he rebuke his followers for praising him and recognizing him as a king. And if Jesus were only a man, he probably would have been pretty wise to listen to their instructions. But as we've already noted, Jesus isn't just a man. He is God. So Jesus responds back to the Pharisees as only someone who affirmed his position as the Messiah and Son of God could do. He says to them, in essence, you could stop all of these people. You could get every one of them to close their mouths. But as soon as you did that, all of my creation would respond with praise, because glory and honor and adoration and recognition as the King is what I alone am worthy of. And if the people were to stop praising me, then the rocks on the ground would take their place, and they would acknowledge me as the Christ. It doesn't immediately tell us how those Pharisees responded to Jesus' words, but I don't think it's difficult to assume their reactions. As we go through the rest of this Holy Week, we're going to see that the ultimate decision of these leaders, the ultimate verdict of the Jewish people, was to murder Jesus on a Roman cross, because he isn't the king that they wanted or expected. He was the king that they could never accept that they needed. And just as the shepherd boy David, just as he defied all those cultural assumptions and all those human expectations that the Israelites would have looked for in a king, so too was Jesus far different than the king that the people were looking for and anticipating. And it's a real shame, because the testimony of Scripture has revealed to us a Messiah who is sovereign over creation, who is humble in nature, who is worthy of praise. You see, Jesus was a far better, a far greater, a far more glorious king than they ever could have imagined or dreamed up for themselves. Jesus did indeed come to liberate his people from bondage and oppression. It just wasn't the bondage and the oppression that they wanted to be released from.